Hi, this is Kate from the On Legs Agency and welcome to the Friday session. And this is the last Friday session of 2020 and I wanted to dedicate this session to a very dear friend that I lost in September to suicide, Peter McLaughlin. And what I'd like to do today is to try to drive awareness to the real pandemic in this country and in the world, which is suicide, and to maybe today reach out to somebody that just might need it. So we lost Pete in September this year and it was very, very sudden and very, very unexpected. And a couple of things struck me. One was it didn't appear that Pete was aware how much he was loved, how much he was cared for, how much people just absolutely adored him. And the other thing was the aftermath that's left behind. We've all grieved and we've all had loss, and I'm the same. But I've never experienced anything quite like this. And I think the grief from a suicide is quite different. There are so many questions, so many what ifs. Could I have? Should I have? Why didn't I? So much regret that's left behind after a suicide. And that makes the grieving process all the more difficult. So today what I'd like is a simple, a simple thing to try to raise awareness is there is somebody today, every single one of us knows somebody today that might be struggling, that might be going through a difficult time, that Christmas might just not be the presents under the tree and the turkey that it's synonymous with. And they may not be suicidal, they may not have gone that far, but they might be feeling low. And what I'd like to do today is ask everybody to reach out. Maybe a phone call, it might be a text message, it might be further than that, you might go visit if you're allowed. And to let them know you care, to let them know that you're there so that they don't feel alone today. And what I'd like is if you could put a little love heart into the comments below, then that will signify that somebody was reached out to, that somebody was touched today, that somebody was told they weren't alone and was told that they care. And I think it would be lovely if we could fill the comments box with love hearts today to let us know that somebody somewhere feels a bit better today because of a phone call or a text message that somebody sent out. So that's what I'd ask today in Pete's memory. The other thing is, if you are struggling, if you're going through a tough time, please, and I know it sounds cliche at this stage, please reach out, but please make some effort to let somebody know that you need help on some level. We're also going to fill the comments box today with any group that you know of or any organisation or any phone numbers. Let's get them all into the comments today so that if you are struggling, if you're going through a difficult time, please go through the comments and see the information that's there. If you want to leave a comment for somebody that might be struggling that they can read today, then feel free to leave a comment as well. Anything that we can do to let people know today that you're not alone. And although Christmas might be good for some, it's not good for all. The other thing that I'd like to do, if you'd bear with me for another couple of moments, is I'm a big believer that things come your way when you need them. And I hope we'll be all right with this one. And I was sitting in the car the morning of Pete's funeral, and I was struggling and I was trying to think of, what do you say? What's the right thing to say? How do you conjure this up? How do we stop this happening again? And apologies for the tears, didn't expect that. And lo and behold, on my feed popped this, and I'd like to read it for you. And I just thought, on all the days, of all the times, what a thing to pop up. And it's called Pooh's Difficult Day. Today was a difficult day, said Pooh. There was a pause. Do you want to talk about it? Asked Piglet. No, said Pooh after a bit. No, I don't think I do. That's okay, said Piglet. And then he came and sat beside his friend. What are you doing? asked Pooh. Nothing really, said Piglet. Only I know what difficult days are like. I quite often don't like talking about it on my difficult days either. But goodness, continued Piglet, difficult days are so much easier when you know you've got someone there for you. And I'll always be there for you, Pooh. As Pooh sat there, working through in his head his difficult day, while the solid, reliable Piglet sat next to him quietly, swinging his little legs, he thought that his best friend had never been more right. My message today and my hope today is that each of us can be someone's Piglet. So be someone's Piglet today. Reach out and leave a little heart in the comments. And Pete, I know you're there. I'm convinced you're there. I get signs all the time to highlight that. And I'd like you to know that, and I speak for everybody that knew you, we love you, we miss you, and we will never let the sun go down on you, Pete. Lots of love. Thank you. Have a lovely Christmas.